Hi, 7th graders. We're on lesson 5.8, part 2, which is calculating markups and discounts. So a markup is when a store sells an item for more than it paid for the item in order to make a profit. So if we want to find the selling price of a digital camera that is $120 with a 55% markup, there's a couple different ways, two ways, that we can do it. The first way is, and I'm going to use percent equations to solve it, or to solve all of our problems for this lesson. So if you remember, our percent equation is part equals percent times whole. So our first step for method 1 is to put in, to fill in our equation. So the part is the price that we are trying to figure out. So that's going to be our x. Our percent is 55%, but remember we need to change it to a decimal, so we have 0.55 times 120. Okay? So then we can finish solving, so that will be our step included in step 1, is 0.55 times 120, which equals 66, and we'll write it with money. Okay, so that means it's marked up $66, but because it's going to be selling for more, it can't be less than 120. So for our next step, then we have to take 120, we'll keep using money, and we add that $66, and we get $186. Okay? For our method 2, we would still use the percent equation, but this time we can, because we're marking it up, we know that we are going to pay 100% of the cost. The digital camera is $120. 100% of $120 is $120. Plus, we are going to pay 55%. So we can write our equation just a little bit differently. X is still going to be our part. Instead of writing it as 0.55, we're going to actually write it as 100% plus 55%, which would be 155%, and then we would write it as a decimal. So 1.55, and then we would multiply it times 120. So then for our second step is then we would just solve. So x equals 1.55 times 120, just to double check on my calculator, and it's $186. So either way, you get the same price. Markup, remember, is when we're increasing the price, so make sure your price is more than the original price given. Okay? A discount is the amount by which a regular price is reduced. So now we're going less. So a discount is, if you think of something being on sale, then you're paying less than the regular price. So if we have a CD, which is $14.50, and it's 10% off, our method 1 and 2 are pretty much the same way. We have part equals percent times whole, so our part is not given to us, so we have x equals, and our percent is 10%, but we change it to a decimal, so 0.10, and then it's times 14.50. So then our step 2, where's my step? Then we're going to solve it for x. So x equals 0.10 times 14.5, and we get $1.45. That is our discount. That's how much we're going to take off. Okay, so our price isn't going to be $1.45. Then we take $14.50 and we subtract $1.45. $14.50 minus $1.45, and we get $13.05. So very important to remember that second step is finding the discount and then subtracting it. Okay? So method 2, the same, if we think about it the same way, is that we're taking, trying to go up here, we're taking 100% of the CD, but we're subtracting 10% of it now. So instead of adding it on, we're going to subtract it from 100%. So now our new equation then is going to be x equals, and then we take 100% minus 10%, so we have 90% times 1450. And here's our times. Okay, and then I'm going to rewrite this, so x equals 0.90 times 1450. And if I put that in my calculator, 0.90 times 14.5, I get x equals 13.05. Lost it there for a second. And they should match up. Okay? And it should, if you think about it, it should make sense. If we're taking 10% off, that's not that much. So the new number should be not that far away from the original number if we have a percent that low. If we're taking 90% off, then it should be a lot more taken off. So you have to make sure that it all makes sense. And also make sure your answer is labeled correctly if it's money or whatever else you're trying to figure out. Okay, so I have a few problems for you. So I want you to pause me really quick, and I want you to do all 4 of these problems and then come back and check your work. So we have find the sale price of a bicycle that is regularly $140 and is on sale for 40% off of the original price. And I forgot to mention that you could do this in method 1 or method 2. Okay? So I would set this up as x equals, we'll do it with method 2. Well, we'll do it with method 1 for this one. So 0.40 times 140. 0.40 times 140 equals 56. X equals 56. And then I take x equals 140 minus 56, and I get 140 minus 56 equals $84. Find the selling price of $60 rollerblades with a 35% markup. So this time we can go x equals, this is a markup, so we're doing 100% plus 35%. So 1.35 times 60, because I decided to do method 2, 100% plus 35% would be changed to a decimal as 1.35. And then, oops, 1.35 times 60 equals $81. Okay, find the price of a $50 video game with a 6.5% sales tax. So sales tax is added on in addition to the item that you're buying. So they figure out what is 6.5% of the cost, and then they add it on to the total. So we have x equals 1 point, so let's do this, 0.065, okay, because 6.5% changed to a decimal would be 0.065. And then we're going to multiply it by 50. Okay, so 0.065 is, oops, $3.25. And then our next step is x equals 50 plus 325, so we get $53.25. And then what is the sale price of a $399 trampoline that is 15% off? So we have x equals, and we'll do method 2 this time, so 100% minus 15% is 85%, so we have 0.85, and then we multiply it by 399. And then I have x equals 0.85 times 399. And our price then is $339.15. Okay? If you have any questions, you can go back into the book and read the book. Make sure you go on to NICU and take 5-8 discounts and markups is what the quiz is called, or markups and discounts. One of them. It's the second part of 5-8. Have a super evening.